Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
And I'm the replacement for Sarah, Hans Remore. Drake's evil twin.
And I'm her twin, Drake Remore. Friends, anyone?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this episode is sponsored by Nadra Cristobal. Today we will be discussing Chapter 16 of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. The Chamber of Secrets. So make sure that you have read the chapter and you're ready to dive into the pool of details. And before we begin, Megan has social media stuff.
Let us head to Megan.
You guys
There
will
were two lettuce
understand.
things in there.
You'll understand the reference at the end of this episode.
Yes,
Stay
you have
tuned.
to wait all episode unless you were with us on Instagram.
Meg, social media needs.
You are the need of social.
I'm sorry. We just started this Swish and Flick. Speaking of social media, we just started a Swish and Flick Snapchat group.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it is ridiculously active. And I was checking my notifications.
Maybe you should record your podcast.
You know.
Oh!
I'm hanging with the fans, yo. Hanging with the
fired.
fans.
Let us get on with it.
Proceed.
To the checkout
Welcome.
counter.
You can talk, it's fine.
Swish and Flick podcast can be found on all of the social media. That threw me off because you just changed it on me.
You're supposed to say it exciting, like, can be found on all the social medias.
We are Swish and Flick Podcast on Facebook and Swish Flick Cast on Twitter and Instagram. Also, make sure that you head on over to YouTube and subscribe. We have not only our podcast posted there, but weekly vlogs. Follow us on our crazy Potter-filled adventures together. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Check it out. You can also join us on Patreon for exclusive access to the Felix Files, our bi-monthly bonus episodes, a chance to be a guest on the Felix Files, a Google Hangout session, giveaways, and so much more. If that sounds like a good time, go to www.patreon.com/swishflickcast and choose your support level. Shout out and huge thank you to all of our current patrons. You make this podcast possible with your support.
So if anyone is even remotely still interested in this podcast after that read,
I feel like we were the Potter version of an OxyClean commercial.
Billy Mays here with OxyClean. R.I.P.
That's what she
Megan Petras here with Swish and Flick.
We're gonna
listen to us on Sunday.
we're gonna do the podcast like this for the rest of the day.
We're going to scream at you.
What's the Chamber of Secrets? We will find out. Tune in on next week's episode. When all is revealed.
Oh, God, I can't let
Oh, boy.
All right, so that's still green, if you didn't know.
Yeah, Meg.
I don't know if she's here, guys. It's Friday night.
And I just got paid.
Friday night.
So, guys, it's time
Happen.
for the weekly profits. So there was this pretty cool article that came out about the budget of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And it cost $68 million to put Harry Potter and the Cursed Child in New York, on Broadway.
68.
Fun fact here, that is the most ever spent on a non-musical Broadway production. A typical non-musical performance costs $3 to $5 million.
Wow.
Wow.
God,
Well,
so
they
imagine.
change everything, though, don't they? They change the whole...
Yeah, they had to redo
Oh, they
that,
totally
everything.
refurbished
Yeah.
the
Didn't
Lyric
They have
Theater.
to, not even just like the stage and set. Like,
Oh, the whole
thing. Yeah.
If you look, like, the lights in the Lyric Theater are like dragons.
And the walls have
And they like have different.
furnaces, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to change that when they're done with the play? Or is the play always going to be there?
I think at this point, it's a pretty permanent fixture. Because if you think about it, how long has it been on the West End in London?
Yeah.
It's going to be around for a while. I'm not going to say it's permanent, but it's going to be a while.
Okay.
Is my guess.
What is there any theater that's like changed that much for a show?
I am not a theater buff, so I don't know. Like, I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to give this little fun. I don't know actually if this is in this article, but I read another article yesterday. It's not in this article. But I read an article about how J.K. Rowling is getting 31% of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child profits,
That's interesting.
which is a massive.
Why don't you do that, Katie?
Sorry.
Which is
68 million. Why not 31%?
That's why there's a bell over by you too.
Which I just want to say she must have some good lawyers or she's a good negotiator, because just to put into perspective, the man who wrote the book that Hamilton is based off of, any guesses on how much percentage he gets of Hamilton
So
profits?
he wrote the book.
He wrote the book. He didn't write, like, it's not Lin-Manuel Miranda who, like, wrote the music and everything, but he wrote the book.
He wrote the book on
12.
it. 5%.
One.
But hold on, in perspective, and
One.
that is crazy. But think of how much money Hamilton
I know.
has gotten. So it is still getting a lot of money.
Think
but
of how
that's
much
insane.
JK is getting. If he's getting that much at 1%, JK Rowling
But
gets
you know
31.
what?
And to put it even more into perspective, after it reaches profit beyond the 68 million that it cost to make it, so like up until it reaches like break even, she gets 31% of the gross profit. Once it's fully in profit mode, beyond that, her percentage bumps to 41%.
This is just
Plus-
in New York.
This is just New York.
What is she doing over there?
I mean, I'm pretty sure she basically has the same deal.
I will
But
say,
it's two separate incomes.
I feel like she's so feisty. Like,
Oh, I know.
well,
these are her. This
the-
is her child.
I would say, like, one
Not to say
difference
that
between
other guy. I don't know.
I
the
know.
guy that wrote the book about Hamilton, like
Yeah.
he's writing about someone where like the whole Harry Potter
This is
world
the
is
whole
her.
universe.
Yeah.
That
It's her
she's
universe.
made,
You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
And
She doesn't own. What is it? Revolutionary War. What's Hamilton about?
it's
it
just based
starts-
off the book, like Alexander
Sorry, I'm not
Hamilton.
sorry.
No, well, it's about his life, but he helped do the revolution. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, getting America free from England.
Yeah. Okay.
But on top of that, she also owns the company that is putting this out called like Harry Potter Theatrical Productions.
Didn't know that was
So
a thing.
she also gets a percentage through that company. So she gets even more.
She also donates a lot of money.
Oh, I know. Like,
she's
I'm
smart.
not, she doesn't
Yeah.
need
You're
it,
just
but like she
saying,
knows
yeah.
what to do to get what she thinks she deserves for her
Business
work.
savvy.
Right?
How much does everybody else that wrote the play get?
I don't know.
Who actually?
But
wrote
it was like, I'm trying to think. There was another example too of somebody who got like 3 to 4%. And like that apparently is average, normal
Yeah.
for like writer.
I know we're never gonna get like her story behind it because she's so over it. But I want to know how that conversation went.
For Cursed Child.
Yes.
This is like a whole other. We can't even talk about it now because we could talk
No,
about
but
it for
I'm just
hours.
saying, like, I want to know.
If he really loves me.
What are you're really really?
Yeah.
I'm going to say again, there are a lot of good parts in Cursed Child that I like. But there are a lot of questionable
But I
parts
just
in
want to know,
Cursed
like,
Child.
how did they agree upon this? Like, what was said? How do you convince her?
Like, I
of
wonder if
these
she
I think,
wrote
yeah,
it,
it
and
is
then she handed
odd.
it to him, and he was like, "Do I have your approval?" Maybe she's like,
But she had to approve it. Did she
That's,
tweak
I know.
it?
That's what I'm
did
saying.
you
I'm like,
do?
maybe,
I mean,
maybe
to
they had a
put-
conversation. Maybe she said, "Write whatever you want. Come back to me like when it's finished, and I'll read it and tell you if it's okay or not."
This is the one thing I don't
She
get about
okayed
some
it.
of the things that she
Yeah.
okayed in Cursed Child. If you put it into perspective onto how much control she has at Universal Orlando, I mean, they can't even change a fixture in a store without getting her approval, and it takes months for her to approve it. And I'm just talking like, we want to move the Hogwarts robes from this section of the wall to this section of the wall. It takes months to get that approved from her. And like, they are such
insane.
sticklers with the butterbeer recipe. So, for example, there was this like thing going around the internet for a while where people were buying fire whiskey at the bar and then they were buying a butterbeer at the bar, and then they would take the fire whiskey and pour it into the butterbeer.
Yeah.
Well, Universal caught on to that, and J.K. Rowling was not happy about it. So now they make you, if you order both of those together, you have to take the shot at the bar before you leave, because they do not want the recipe of butterbeer to be tainted in any way, shape, or form. If you have a dairy allergy, you cannot get butterbeer because they will not serve it without the foam on top, because that is not how it is meant to be served, and they absolutely will not separate it. Even though they have the means to, because they pour the butterbeer and then they put the foam on top separately, they absolutely will not serve it to you separate. Even if you have an allergy, you just cannot get it then.
You're getting real fired up.
I'm just saying, like, with how
hand
much
motions, guys.
with how much control she has over everything at the theme park, it's mind-boggling some of the things that she let go in Cursed
Maybe
Child.
someone has dirt on her for something.
It's a whole other
Maybe it was a give and
episode that we
take,
could talk
though.
about.
You know, it could have been a give and take.
Didn't
where
even
it's
have to be a thing, though. It didn't have to exist. Sorry.
I agree.
And if it has
can't
to exist,
have.
let's take some longer time. Let's write it, and you join in and have it be as good as Fantastic Beasts screenplay was, so I can get immersed. I know it's meant to be seen on stage, but look at that. Look how that turned out. You can feel that story through. I'm done.
We just had this
Fantastic
conversation
Beasts
in another, because we could again
gorgeous.
talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
because we have
curse words I want.
like whenever someone talks about how we started, like before we even decided to do the podcast, when we were out for Megan's birthday, her poor roommate listened to us talk about Cursed Child for 2 hours, and it was on the subject basically of
Voldemort
Bellatrix. That's
and
all it was
Bellatrix.
us talking. So for 2-ish
Wait
hours,
to do her on a Felix file.
it's gonna be. It's just we have so much to talk about. Today's not the day.
And I will tell. Can I tell them that we have epic plans
For Felix
our
Files.
upcoming Felix
Yes.
File episodes? If you're not a patron or you're a patron and you haven't caught, we've done our first Snape episode and we have mapped out.
3 more?
I'm just gonna say relationship episodes. Snape's relationship with different people episodes. That's all I'm gonna really say. They're mapped out, and I'm not gonna toot our horns, but they're gonna be epic.
I think they're going to be really, really good. And then,
So
and then
if
basically we're
Meg
going to
didn't-
delve into other characters related. Somebody requested a Lily episode so they can get in my brain and understand where I come with half the things I say about her, which we should definitely do.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna do this with a lot of characters, especially
Yes,
the big ones.
I think
All of
that
them, guys.
At this
This
moment in
podcast
time,
that never-
this is where the Felix Files are going.
Yeah.
Right now, they are going to be character profile driven, where we delve deep into like.
Well, we
Each
kind of
specific-
wanted them to
multiple
go that way.
episodes on one character where we just talk about them
There's a lot to say.
and have patrons join us.
Yeah.
So?
what is that? $5 to Felix File?
Yep.
$5 for the Felix Files. That's all it is. And it is, it's just to support us, and it helps us be able to give you guys all this extra content. So
$5.
it's not a lot
guys.
for a lot more content, and I think a lot more good content. So
Amen.
my
sister
opinion, at
friend.
least.
Yeah,
All right. So, is it time?
it's time.
It's time.
Wait, it's not. It's not time. It's not time. It's not time yet.
So I want to shout out Vanessa and Meg, who I met, and I also
Weird.
met Vanessa's husband Tom and their little baby, who was adorable. Had a blast. So
a
thanks,
blast.
guys, for meeting with me and my friend. We had a good time. Drank a lot of beer, and it was great.
Good.
Good beers.
Tiffany.
Is this video?
What time is it?
I don't know if I can do it right.
It's
Camera
showtime.
shy. It's time for the recap. Now leave me alone. Everybody wants to see my dumb face say that.
Your face is not dumb.
It's not.
I feel dumb when I do it. You want to feel the baby's foot?
Yes.
Oh, it's gone. I'm sorry. It was there and then it was gone.
I got so upset.
I'm sorry. Next time it comes
It was
around.
like magic.
I want to feel the baby's foot.
I'm sorry. Next time it kicks me and it like sticks it out all the way.
There's no such thing as magic. That was him closing little thing on his door.
Thank you.
welcome.
Little nub. Yeah, that's a foot.
I felt a foot.
Or a hand, I don't know.
An appendage.
Maybe it punched ya.
All right, Katie, you can go.
Recap.
I'll allow it.
So last time we discussed Harry and Ron taking Hagrid's mysterious advice and following those spiders into the Forbidden Forest, where they met Aragog.
Say it right.
Aragog.
King of the arachnids.
Who is a spider
will decay.
the size of a small elephant. So they found out that Hagrid did not open the Chamber of Secrets last time, and that there's a different monster that lies within the chamber. So after nearly being eaten and being saved by the flying Fort Anglia, Harry and Ron realized that the girl who died in the bathroom 50 years ago might be Moaning Myrtle.
Who?
What?
She did.
Ooh, I say you, she did. So, realizing who might have the information they seek, Harry and Ron try to visit Myrtle, but instead they visit Hermione. Even whilst petrified, Hermione has answers for the boys, and they soon run to tell McGonagall what they know. Well, there's been another attack. Harry and Ron take Lockhart with them to find the Chamber of Secrets. It ends with a bang, some memory loss, and Harry getting into the Chamber of Secrets. Well, Slytherin's Chamber of Secrets, to be exact. Not so secret anymore.
Oh my gosh. All right. I have lovingly titled the first section of my part, Just 3 Toilets Away. Go ahead.
Thank you.
All right. So our chapter begins with Ron complaining. Anyone shocked?
Nope.
Okay.
Not eating, though.
Right. About how they have been 3 toilets away almost all year, and they have never bothered to ask Myrtle how she has died.
I'd be annoyed too, though.
It was dreadful.
But, like, okay, so in reality, I put a note in here. I wonder if it ever crossed through Hermione's brain, but she maybe thought, like, better off not asking because it might, like, send Myrtle into a crying fit.
Yeah, probably.
Because I know, Hermione is annoyed with Myrtle. Mm-hmm. Like, you see that because she's like, oh no, it's Moaning Myrtle. Like,
Stay away from her.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it crossed her mind and then she was like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that she'd spray them with toilet water. That's gross.
Well, it's probably clean toilet water if no one's in there.
Try explaining that to Katie and see if
Sarah,
she's
it's
ever
toilet
okay with
water.
that.
Toilet water's toilet water, man.
That's right.
Okay. I hope it did, but I bet it didn't. Okay. So looking for spiders was nearly impossible before. So taking a special trip to the girls' bathroom would probably be impossible because of all, like, the teachers having to walk students literally everywhere. And especially because this bathroom is next to the scene
Of the crime.
an attack. But, you know, as we know... Oh, Jesus, hold on. You may go. Sorry, Fozzie needed to go out. Nothing is impossible for Mr. Potter and his friends. Nothing. And so all the thoughts of the chamber were driven out of their minds by McGonagall one day in the first 10 minutes of Transfiguration class when she informed them that their exams would begin on the 1st of June, which was just a week away.
I really don't understand why they're shocked.
Because they're
maybe
12.
because of last year.
Maybe.
Yeah, they get used to it.
Yeah.
Do they ever have final exams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Seamus is appalled by such a thing. Neville drops his wand and it vanishes a leg off a desk. And I have a question. So this wand falls and it sends out a spell, right?
Yes.
But there are many spells. So how does the wand determine what spell to shoot off?
Yeah,
It
really.
has a mind of its own.
I know, but like, isn't that an interesting thought?
I kind of agree that like the mind has a wand of its own. The wand does have a mind of its own. A little
I know,
bit.
but like,
Maybe it's thinking like,
what
oh,
other
shoot.
one?
Like, oh, that would be funny.
Unfold.
I'm going to vanish that leg desk chair.
what?
What just happened?
Like this chair?
The desk leg chair.
No.
The desk leg.
Maybe.
There it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe Neville's thinking, because what class is this in?
Transfiguration.
Well, maybe he's thinking like, oh shoot, exams are coming. I want to disappear. Drops his wand, and the desk lamp disappears.
Clever soul.
You're welcome.
I'm just wondering though, because I think that's really
It's interesting.
interesting. Thought.
Very interesting.
Thank you. Sometimes I have thoughts that I think. That's all. All right. So McGonagall, being the boss teacher that she is, she says the whole point of keeping the school open was so that the students would be able to continue getting their education. Me being a teacher, I agree.
Because that's such a teacher thing to say.
And Harry couldn't think of anything that he had learned this year.
Nothing.
And I said, lol.
That's so Harry.
Such a non-Ravenclaw thing to say.
But seriously, school has not been their focus this year. And honestly, as a teacher, I get continuing as normal, but nothing is normal, and your mindset controls so much of how you perform. And I feel like everybody would have...
Well,
not everybody. A lot of these kids would have sucked.
I also feel like we don't even get to see a lot of them being in class this book because they're worried so much about everything happening there.
Yeah.
So
I
we don't
agree.
even see Harry in class a lot.
Yeah.
So he's not thinking class-wise.
True.
Because, his friend is petrified.
Dumbledore had told her to keep the school running as normal as possible, and so that's what she said she
Gotta
was
get
going
him
to
on
do.
that treadmill.
And sorry, the baby is really making me uncomfortable. I just love McGonagall for this because no matter what, she's staying loyal to Dumbledore. And I think that's one of the major themes of this book is being loyal and showing that loyalty. And she definitely has that quality about her. And during this transfiguration class, you guys, they're turning white rabbits into slippers.
That's so sad. When I read this, I was like,
And I said sad tweet because what happens to the rabbit? Is it dead or is it suspended in time? Because you can turn it back.
yeah.
So what
I
happens?
bet it's suspended in time until the magic wears off.
Does the magic wear off? What if you're a
think
really,
it
really
can.
excellent wizard?
What if your dog shreds your slippers?
Not to get too gross, do you think they would bleed?
No. I think the
like,
magic
what if
changes the
Dear
property.
Joe,
What if while it's...
Magic rabbit slippers bleed?
Dear Joe.
What if, though, like, it's turning back because your magic's not strong or it's just getting attacked?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just thought that was sad.
Yeah.
And so during this lesson, Ron's wand, I said that weird, but Ron's wand begins to whistle loudly. And I said he would fail his exams with that wand for sure.
yeah, he's got to be panicking.
How does any teacher, like, as a teacher, okay, if I was at Hogwarts and I see your wand from day one is sucko, I'm writing to your family and saying blah, blah, blah. And, or I would say, can we use some school funds to get this kid a wand?
Honestly, I'd be like, kid, you can borrow my one for
Yeah.
the remainder
but
of.
still, that wouldn't be good either.
Yeah, it's better than his.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Things to think about. Because also you have to think about, is his parents making him use that wand as punishment, being like, you got yourself into this situation, you're going to have to work with it.
I don't think,
I don't
they,
think
know.
they know.
He wouldn't tell. He
That could be true.
already got a howler for getting to school the way they got to school. And I think if he would have written home and said, my wand is broken, I need a new one, Molly would have flipped the F out. But I also think that she would have got him a new one.
Harry
somehow.
suggested that to Ron. He was like, why don't you just write home?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't. Like,
Yeah.
after what happened, I can't.
Just got to suck it up.
Yeah.
Buttercup.
I don't know. Things to think about. Like thinking of writing to them. I don't know if they would be like, are they too proud to be the parents? Didn't someone say that they'd be too proud to ask the school for money?
Well, that's what I was saying.
Like how would you come home with a new wand and being like, oh, the school got me this, and then...
Well, that wouldn't matter. It is what it is.
I know, but like I'm just saying, the parents are probably like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I'll pull from real life experiences. I work in a low socioeconomic neighborhood, and a lot of the kids don't have uniforms, or they're too small, or they're too big, or they're really dirty. And so we'll send them home with new uniform, shirt, pants, whatever. I'm not going to ask you as a parent to send this home. I'm just going to send it home.
Yeah.
No,
So
I'm not saying asking.
No, but
I'm just
that's
saying
what
doing
I'm.
it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, I agree with
as
you.
McGonagall, I would go around and I would have gotten him something somehow.
That's kind of,
But maybe
Didn't she get
I was
Harry's
gonna
broom,
say-
or did they pull the gold from his vault?
but like,
I don't
how can
think
they go
did.
and pull the gold from his vault? Like, I think that the school got that for him.
But
I think so too.
I also think maybe was McGonagall saying, you know what, you got yourself into this mess. You need to you need to tell your parents that you broke your wand and that they need to get you a new one.
Could be. I don't know.
I feel
Like,
like
take
a
self-responsibility.
wand.
about it.
I
They
feel like
comment on
a
it.
wand is something
does.
different to like punish someone over.
It's your
than, like,
whole schooling
exactly.
experience.
I
pretty
agree.
much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other situations
You know,
where like
like-
why, but at the same
If he
time,
spilled ink all over his textbooks or something, like that's one thing, as opposed to him breaking his wand. I mean, do you know what I mean?
I
Like
can
it's
also
just a
just
very
point
different
out-
level of.
that if you think
item
about it,
for school.
she wanted to make sure, she being JK, wanted to make sure that by the end of this book, he had the screwed up wand anyways, because things wouldn't have worked out in the way they worked
Sarah,
out.
that's beside the point. Get your logic out of here.
Things to think about.
Calm down, Ravenclaw. Relax.
Anyways, thoughts to think. All right. So 3. Ooh, marriage off. Days before the exams are to take place, McGonagall attempts to make an announcement, and so she says that she has good news, and people start shouting. They're like, "Dumbledore's back," or "They caught the heir of Slytherin," or that Quidditch was back on. Guess who said that? And however, what she really wanted to tell them was that the mandrakes are ready for cutting.
Still makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, do they? Can you guys? What do you guys think? Are they dead?
No, they're not dead.
No, I think they're like lobsters.
Oh, I can't eat lobster because of that.
Boil them first. Oh,
First,
Dude,
I don't know.
can see Sprout just being like, she's a kind and caring person, but when it comes to that, she's probably like,
Yeah.
the poor
I
little
agree.
mandrakes.
what if they age super fast and then die?
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping.
Did you guys watch
Yes,
that special?
I knew exactly because she's in it, and I was
Yes.
actually surprised that she was in that.
Yeah, because
She
isn't
usually
she
tends
She
kind
to
of...
doesn't really
stray.
like Harry Potter. But so
I
okay,
didn't
so what we're
finish it,
talking
but I
about
watched
is
most
the
of it.
special that was on the
didn't watch
CW, Harry Potter,
History through magic.
A History of Magic.
Is it on the
History of
Internet
Magic.
Highway?
It's on the CW app.
Isn't it on their website too?
I don't know, maybe.
Probably on their website.
CW? Unless you want to sponsor us.
It's probably on their website. I watch Riverdale online on their website.
Yeah,
I don't know
but
what that means, but okay.
I highly recommend everybody goes and watches it. It's super cool, super informative, and it's basically about the history of real life magic and what JK pulled from folklore and from
Real life.
like real
Yeah.
what people pertain to be magic. Like a lot of medicine people say is magic because, you know, I mean, how were we supposed to know that the combination of these things did these effects? And like
Oh,
they
yeah.
kind of think of
get what
that
you mean.
as magic. Like, oh, if you combine these things, look at what happens. It cures you. Yes.
I'm just gonna say you can go to the CWTV.com and I just search for Harry Potter and it pops up and you can watch it online.
It's really good. But they talk about the mandrake and they talk about like how, and this is sad because so they like really thought that there was a little person like in the roots.
Did you see them pull some up? They kind of do look like a
they
little
do
man.
Look
Yeah.
like people.
Or a little person. I should
It was
say, like a little
actually Jim Kay, who is the illustrator of the illustrated versions of the Harry Potter books that are coming out right now. Like
illustrator of the
the
illustrated.
fancy watercolor illustrations.
giant books.
The giant books, yes. And he had like a couple of real life mandrakes there that he was using as inspiration for when he was illustrating the mandrakes in Harry Potter. And they do really look like people. It's weird.
Did they have
It's
the
just
props
the roots.
up from the movie? No? Yeah,
No, not really. It was like very practical stuff, not necessarily stuff from the films. The only thing that was like super Harry Potter related, like just Harry Potter related, was stuff that JK provided for the exhibition. So like her sketches of
yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
And her like notes, like the map that she drew of Hogwarts Castle. That kind of stuff.
It's similar to that book that I got.
Yes. And it's like the first drafts
one?
of Sorcerer's
The
Stone that she sent
crazy
out to
expensive
publishers to get signed.
No, the
Did I buy
it's
it?
The history of
Oh, okay.
The History of
I bought
Magic
that
book.
one. What did you buy? The Art of Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Dude, if someone wants to send that to me, go ahead.
But anyway, there's a lot of really cool stuff in that documentary about mandrakes or mandragora, as it's called.
Felix File?
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
probably.
Okay, cool. I'll watch it.
I want to do Felix File on the whole documentary.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I have time this weekend. I actually have time in my life. So I'm gonna do it. It's been a while since I've had some free time. Alrighty. So we're cutting up mandrakes. You know, killing them, chopping up stew, whatever.
Chippity chop chop.
Mandrake stew.
Yeah, that's right.
This is going to be a long
Mandrake
episode.
stew. Good for you. Huh?
This is going to be a long episode.
You don't tell
That's
me what it
okay.
is.
I'm
Get
okay
ready.
with it.
Get ready. You got to prep. We're prepping for 7 right now, guys. Hey. That's going to be really loud. All right. So, after she announces that the mandrakes are ready tonight, guys, there was an explosion of cheering. Malfoy doesn't give an F. He's
No.
sitting at the Slytherin table.
Sulky.
Doesn't care. And so I wanted to read a little blip from our chapter. It won't matter that we never asked Myrtle then, he said to Harry. Hermione will probably have all the answers when they wake her up. Mind you, she'll go crazy when she finds out we've got exams in 3 days' time. She hasn't studied. It might be kinder to leave her where she is until they're over. And I absolutely loved that. So Ron was really happy that the love of his life was about to be back. And then Ginny comes by.
Uh-oh.
Sits down by Rond. We were saying Wand so much. I don't know how to speak. She looked tense and nervous, and her hands were all twisted in her lap. And Ron, being the good brother that he is, said, "Spit it out," because she needed to say something. And so I'm going to read from the chapter, because I can't do it justice. "I've got to tell you something," Ginny mumbled carefully, not looking at Harry.
She loves him.
"What is it?" said Harry. Ginny looked as though she couldn't find the right words. "What?" said Ron. Ginny opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Harry leaned forward and spoke quietly so that only Ginny and Ron could hear him. "Is it something about the Chamber of Secrets? Have you seen something? Someone acting oddly?" Ginny drew a deep breath, and at that precise moment, Percy Weasley appeared, looking tired and wan.
Wan?
W-A-N.
Like wanton?
No. He can't. Penelope is petrified.
This is true.
"If you finished eating, I'll take that seat, Ginny. I'm starving. I only just came off patrol duty."
I'm sorry, but what a frickin' jerk.
Ginny jumped up as though her chair had just been electrified, gave Percy a fleeting, frightened look, and scampered away. Percy sat down and grabbed a mug from the center of the table.
Percy.
And so Ron's like, "Seriously?" She was about to tell us something.
And Percy's like,
And Percy wraps it.
seriously, I don't care.
Seriously, I'm just hungry.
But really.
I'm gonna wreck it.
But he was like... He was like, "Oh, well, you know, it's nothing about anything. It's just that, you know, she saw me doing something, and then he, like, was beating around the bush." So it's like, what? What are you talking about, Percy? Find out later, though. So.
Yeah, we'll find
You
out.
know what he's talking about.
All right, so
He's doing some schnogging.
in a corridor.
In the corridors.
Takes Coke. And you didn't give me one today, so that's two Cokes. Oh,
Give me the coke.
oh God. So, all right. So, presumably, this mystery could be solved tonight, right? No need to do anything else. Dunzo, right? For one time, so far, he doesn't have to do anything. But ho! What ho, friends? Harry, being Harry, couldn't help himself from running to solve the mystery on his own. So,
Of course.
when they're being walked to class by Lockhart, who was looking less than his best, y'all. Looking less than his best. Because he was up all night patrolling the 4th floor corridor. Harry agrees with him when Lockhart says that Hagrid's the guilty one. Ron is flabbergasted. For a hot second, though.
I just want to say that doesn't it all resolve that night anyways?
Yes.
So there you go. It resolves that night.
It could have resolved without drama.
I mean, there's always drama at Hogwarts.
Dramamine? Are we Disney?
Only when Harry's there.
Drama.
I bet you there's drama on the other days, just different kinds of drama.
Do you think
Lots
the
of
other
drama.
Talk to my
dramas.
boyfriend.
Do you think the other kids are like, why'd I have to go while Harry Potter was going to school?
They
Or
probably
could have been
thought it was
normal
so
drama.
cool. They're like, yeah, I'm going
They
to school
thought it
with
was
Harry
cool
Potter.
for like a second.
Yeah, and then like by the end,
face.
by the end of year 1, they're like, gosh, like, can
Can he go to
a different school?
Durmstrang?
Push him off an iceberg.
Send this kid to Durmstrang.
All right. So Ron is like,
Wait,
wow,
he wanted to remain at Hogwarts.
I can't wait for people to be so confused.
Oh, it'll all make
this
sense. It'll all make sense.
I literally can't wait.
Let us have Tiffany finish.
Let us continue. Okay. So Ron is like, what? Like his mouth is all open. He's like, why would you agree with Lockhart? Like, you don't believe that. And then he finally like catches on, not too far after this, because he helps convince Lockhart that they're fine. They can go the rest. It's only one more corridor, right? You know? Only one more. And so rather easily they convince smart old Lockhart that they can go on their own.
Do you think that if he was being judged for which weekly's most charming smile award this week, he would win it?
No, he's not
No,
his usual self right
because
now.
He's scared.
he says that he's going to go and prepare for his class. And so Ron says, prepare his class. Ron sneered after him. Gone to curl his hair, more like. Love that. I love that he sneered it.
My question is, now are we talking the beginning, the middle, or the end of the week? Because the beginning, maybe, middle,
day of the week is it?
end of it, he doesn't even know which weekly is.
This is true.
I don't think we know what day it is. I guess we could figure
just-
it out. If we're 3 days away from exams, maybe it's a Friday.
Ooh, yeah, they got the
Saturday,
weekend to
Sunday, Monday.
recuperate after going into the chamber.
The chamber.
Oh,
Doing
the
little
chamber.
bits of Slavic
They
problems.
slithered in right into that chamber.
Right into the chamber.
Chamber of Secrets.
That's a secret.
Not
We're
anymore.
all being Florence today. What is wrong with us?
Well, a lot of things.
Florence has many friends.
All right. So we're off to see the Myrtle, the wonderful Myrtle of the bathroom. All right. However, McGonagall runs into them.
What?
I know. And so they come
McG.
up with a
I like
lie.
that she calls her that. That you wrote it as McG, and that's all I see. McG.
That's
Do
how I
you
write her
not
in
know
my-
how to spell McGonagall?
No, I wrote it up earlier.
I struggle with it.
I know.
I'm a
I do
horrible
too, every
speller.
time.
It's I say it in my head, McGonagall.
I know when I spell Wednesday, I'm like Wednesday.
Yes.
No, this is how I write it in my notes. I shorthand,
shorthand,
everybody.
yeah.
Lockhart's LH, Ron's Ron because that's short. Hermione is Herm. Dumbledore is Dumble. Herm.
Herm and McG.
Harry is
McG and Herm.
Harry's HP.
Over the streets.
Hate you so much.
They gotta rule the school.
In McGonagall's McG. Oh,
But
jeez.
McG's running the school, and years later, Hermie is running the whole wizarding world. She's a minister of magic.
Okay, your turn.
Yep.
Anyways, so they come up with a lie
A good one.
right on the spot.
Without Hermione there.
Without Hermione. And they're playing on McGonagall's heartstrings. And so I said, yes,
It's cruel.
Harry can be
Rude.
quick to act.
You would have done it.
Probably.
Harry can be quick to act without thinking clearly. And sometimes that's poor decision making, right? All I think of is 5.
Harry's
Like,
pretty
big time.
dumb sometimes.
However, I think he's more clever than we give him credit for.
I would agree.
Like we always say, Harry makes some really dumb choices, whatever, he's not in Ravenclaw, blah, blah, blah. But going through this reread, he makes some really fast thinking, smart moves.
Even in book 1 when he goes to the midnight duel, and he pretends to be the Bloody Baron or whatever to get Peeves to go away. That was on the spot.
I think that we're so saturated with the movies where Hermione's the smart one, Hermione's the thinker. Where when you're rereading the books, you're like, God, that was a great thing that Harry did. That was a great thing that Ron did. Like great thinking on all their parts. And there's times where Hermione's not so bright.
It's true.
She forgets that she's a witch and doesn't know how to make fire.
So let's give the HP some credit.
Shout out to Harry.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out to Ron.
So as the boys are visiting with Hermione, which Madame Pomfrey says there's no point in talking to petrified people, Harry notices a paper in her right hand. And it was several tense minutes before they were able to get the paper from her clenched fist.
Bum, bum, bum.
What does it say? What does it say?
What does the paper say?
The paper says. I have it.
Okay.
I was trying to kill time while I found the page in the book.
I was ready for you. You're the new me.
Of the many fearsome beasts and monsters that roam our land, there is none more curious or deadly than the basilisk. Known also as the king of serpents, this snake, which may reach gigantic size and live many hundreds of years, is born from a chicken's egg, hatched beneath a toad. Its methods of killing are most wondrous, for aside from its deadly and venomous fangs, the basilisk has a murderous stare, and all who are fixed with the beam of its eye shall suffer instant death. That's not funny, I'm sorry. Spiders flee before the basilisk, for it is their mortal enemy.
Spiders.
And the basilisk flees only from the crowing of the rooster, which is fatal to it. And beneath this...
No, I'm sorry. Stop. Is that what you think a rooster sounds like? Yeah. What do you think it sounds like? We need to get her one of those things where you pull the letter, it's like, the rooster says.
What do you think a rooster sounds like?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
That's what I just did.
It sounded like a werewolf looping.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to be a rooster. I'm a were-chicken.
So do you turn it into
Megan,
a chicken
I'm
when
sorry.
you
I
see a
couldn't
full
let
moon?
it go.
Or half-breed of a chicken and a
Half-breed.
wolf.
That.
Okay. What do you look like? Do you have wings or do you have legs?
I hope
I'll take a picture next time.
It's just a werewolf and all four legs are chicken feet.
How menacing.
Looks like it's walking on toothpicks.
But when it talks, it sounds like a rooster.
Yes. When it goes to howl at the moon and You guys are like the people on Arrested Development that don't know what a chicken sounds like.
I didn't.
Cadoodle-doodle-doo.
I didn't-
Cadoodle-doo. Caw-caw-caw-caw.
This episode is out of control.
So annoyed.
No, she's not. She's
I'm not
having
annoyed.
fun.
And beneath this, a single word had been written in a hand Harry recognized as Hermione's.
Herms.
Pipes.
You're all gonna adopt it.
Pipes, y'all. Pipes.
Someone's smoking the pipes.
Oh,
No.
No,
We
these
don't
are
know.
these are like
Some wizards smoke pipes.
Massive. Pipes.
Gandalf.
I was just gonna say that.
Show.
Show.
I'm going to do a little profile on the basilisk. What?
nothing.
Oh, you just copied it.
Yeah.
Wow.
The appearance of the basilisk is an enormous, bright, poisonous green, thick as an oak trunk
Cripes.
snake.
Cripes indeed.
Its magical abilities are armored skin, which can deflect spells, and a
Terrifying.
fatal stare.
Armored skin?
It's crazy.
It's like a dragon. Aren't dragons very impervious to spells?
yes.
Yes. That's why
And
it takes all
giants.
those
And
guys
giants. You're
in the,
right, which is why Haggard can take stunning spells.
in the forest in 4 when they're trying to like calm them down. It takes like so
Yes.
many wizards to
Yes.
do it.
And if you ever watch The Hobbit, they're trying to kill the thing, and they have to get special
The thing.
arrows, the dragon.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
to, like-
for the scales. Yeah. Oh.
Things cross genre.
Up talking Tolkien.
Never heard of them.
Its dangers are venomous fangs and the ability to kill with its fatal stare. That was a bad mess up there.
It's Friday night, guys. What you get?
Allegiance. It's usually bred by dark wizards, and it is loyal to Parselmouths, which, as we know, runs in Slytherin and through dark wizard families.
So,
Yes.
say you're pure blood, Hufflepuff, and you go downstairs to the Chamber of Secrets, but you're evil. Is it gonna be loyal to you? You think?
I would think so.
And if you're pure of heart and you go down there and you're a Slytherin, will it be loyal too?
I wouldn't
No,
think so.
but just because you're a Slytherin,
But it doesn't
does
care
not mean
about
that you're
your
evil.
house though.
I don't think
know.
so.
I don't
I think
think
it
so. It
cares if
just
you're a
cares-
dark wizard or not, and then if
Yeah.
you can speak parcel tongue. I don't think houses have
But
anything
what
to
if
do
you
with
can't
it.
speak parcel tongue, but you're still nasty mean?
Then I
Then I
bet you
think-
it would listen to you.
It could. But you also have to remember
Because
that there's
that's-
bad people in each house. Okay.
Except for Hufflepuff.
That's the least
That is
amount.
false.
But
Your name is in Pottermore. I already looked it up.
Under dark wizards.
It's Katie.
Rude.
Katie.
but no, I don't think it matters what house you're in.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
So, did you guys know that the basilisk is like in real? Like, there's.
What?
It's real.
Yeah, I think I
Wait.
knew that.
Ooh, go on to what you're going to say. I'm really interested.
The Latin name of basilisk is Regulus.
I think that was like an article.
You can do Google
I don't
Translate.
know. I did that, and every time I typed in something Latin, it just gave me the same word.
You probably
Every time.
probably doing it
Translate to
wrong.
English?
Yeah.
In case anybody hasn't caught on, Katie did my notes for me this week. Love ya.
I'm the best wife ever.
It's okay.
But if that's true, it's really
That's
interesting.
bananas to
Yeah.
me. But it also it doesn't make sense to me because he ended up being all right.
Well,
I don't know.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. Can you find it? Do you find it? Do you know where it is?
Keep talking.
There's actually like lizards that are called like basilisks, I believe.
and they're pretty cute, actually.
You don't even. Are they snaky things?
No,
Or
they're
lizards?
actually they're
lizards.
more of a
So,
lizard
here's
breed.
my question, Megan. You're not fond of snakes. However, snakes.
Lizards are okay.
Okay, but lizards are basically snakes with,
With
legs.
No, here's the difference.
What is
true?
Go ahead.
That is true
Oh, I got so excited.
to
for
a
nothing.
point. Because, first of all, I like that lizards have feet. I don't like that snakes don't have feet.
That's what I'm saying. This is the
No,
only
but that
difference.
freaks me out. The fact that they don't have
Why?
feet because like they move
Yeah,
faster,
they're just muscly.
and then
Yeah,
also
they're just ripped lizards. Come
Yeah.
on.
also
So many
lizards.
abs
Lizards don't have venomous fangs like
Some
snakes.
of them probably do.
Let me
But
look.
not like their jaws are different.
You don't
like
know.
the whole idea of like how snakes' jaws can like detach to like take in huge prey.
Just trying to eat some voles.
Guys, I have to tell you something really important.
All right.
And it does pertain to this because we're talking about snakes, and I'm terrified. Katie probably knows what I'm going to say.
Yep, I do.
What did you do?
Okay. We're going to the London Zoo in
Because they have the
October.
reptile house.
Because they filmed the reptile house with the Burmese python, right?
Yes.
And I want to see the reptile house.
And maybe the python.
Are you gonna hold it?
No.
Oh, wait, no, it gets
I
better.
need you to Britney Spears it.
A Burmese python does not live in the reptile house at the London Zoo.
In that cage.
Okay.
In the cage that they used for the Burmese python in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone lives a black mamba. And I am not joking.
That is fate. that makes me happy.
A black mamba.
I told her, I was like, it's time to face your fear. It's time to do it.
Guys, I'm going to cry.
I think it's gonna be great. Film her crying, please.
I will. I said I'd protect
I want to
her.
put it on a boomerang. Just
Oh my
tears.
God. I can't.
There are many venomous lizards,
But they don't have
and they
fangy
are
fangs.
quite aggressive.
They don't have fangy fangs like the snakes with their little gross little tongues that go.
so cute. Dangerous lizards and turtles
If you look at a snake, they're always smiling.
So moving on.
The cute little basilisk lizard walks on its back feet, which is frickin' adorable, and also has like a little thingy on its head, kind of like a dinosaur, like a little mohawky type thing on its head.
Like a fin almost.
Yeah, almost like a fin.
What's it called?
It's those ones that like skim across water.
Shoot. I'm mad at myself.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's the green basilisk lizard, sometimes known as the Jesus Christ lizard.
What?
It's an animal
Because it
that
walks
lives
on water.
in the forested areas of Central America, and it gets its nickname thanks to an amazing ability to skim across 5 feet of water per second using its long toes. These specialized toes have flaps of skin that expand in the water, giving the lizard enough surface area to stand without sinking, giving it the appearance of being able to walk on water. There is more than one kind of basilisk, however. So besides the green one or plumed basilisk, there's the common basilisk, the western or red-headed basilisk, and the brown or striped basilisk. But it's just legends and myths, basically. So, fun story.
So nothing like what she made it into.
No.
But those are in like folklore, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I read that even like sometimes the odor or the voice of the basilisk can kill you. And I read that it can kill by hissing, and I was like, is that a parcel tongue connection?
And it is hatched. The myth is that it is hatched from a chicken egg, and only a weasel can kill it.
A weasel.
Weasel connection.
Well,
Jenny.
But Harry killed it.
Yeah.
But Harry killed it for Ginny,
True.
who's a Weasley.
Oh, you know what? I think it was saying, this is what medieval beastery.ca says.
What's
it's
CA?
called the king, maybe Canada, the king Regulus of the serpent.
So maybe Regulus is king.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also typed translate king from Latin to king in English, and it said king.
What was that?
On the Wikipedia it says little king Regulus, so.
Huh.
Interesting things, friends. Because knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Regulus means king.
Yeah, a petite king or
Kinglet.
a petty is what it's
So-
not petite.
Harry makes the connection that this is the monster in the chamber, and Hermione figured it out. The basilisk kills people by looking at it, but no one has died because no one has looked at it directly in the eye. We have Colin, who saw it through his camera. Justin saw it through nearly headless Nick, and that is why Nick got the full blast of it, but he obviously couldn't die again. Hermione and Penelope Clearwater were clearly looking around corners with Penelope's mirror, and Mrs. Norris only saw the reflection of it in the flooded corridor floor with the water. So, they figured it out. They're smart. They had Hermione's help, even though she wasn't around, but still, they pieced that together pretty
Power
well.
of Herm.
Yeah.
So, ipso facto, Myrtle saved Mrs. Norris's life by flooding the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
She's
That's
a good,
true.
good lady. Hey, lady. Hey, lady.
My question is, how did that polydactyl cat get up there?
Oh, God. No. Don't say anything. Move on. Keep reading.
We all know the real answer to that question.
She tied it in a knot, man.
So all of Hagrid's roosters had been strangled because the crowing of the rooster is fatal to the basilisk. Spiders flee before it, hence Hagrid's message to them. And Hermione's message, Pipes, is that it was using the plumbing to get around. Harry has been hearing voices inside the walls because he's a parcel mouth, and it's using the plumbing in the walls to get from point A to point B. So then
Pretty
they
gross.
discover that the entrance to the chamber must be a bathroom. Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. What? Did Myrtle die from the basilisk?
I say no.
I think she drowned in her own tears.
So the heir of Slytherin must also be a parcel mouth then. So there's 2 of them in the school. And Harry and Ron decide to go to the staff room to talk to McGonagall because they need to get all of this information out to her so that she can get on the move to get this situation taken care of. But the bell to signal break never came. And instead, McGonagall's voice echoed through the corridors. All students to return to their house dormitories at once. All teachers return to the staff room immediately, please.
She's polite.
Yeah, at least
She
she
is
said
polite.
please. I just said right meow.
So
She would say right meow.
So Harry and Ron do as Harry and Ron do, and they go to the staff room instead of their dormitory and hide in the coat wardrobe.
To Narnia.
Which, why wouldn't they just stay in there and tell all the teachers?
Because they're dumb.
Yes, well,
we
here's
got to
the thing.
give Harry credit for something.
They're only 12-year-old boys.
well,
Yeah, but like if you're like, oh, I gotta tell McGonagall,
But
well,
here's
what's
the
better?
thing.
Just tell everybody.
But here's the thing.
Maybe they don't want to be seen as crazy.
No, I don't know. I think that if all the teachers were to walk in there, they'd be like, "Oh, Weasley Potter, GTFO."
But they'd be
Yeah.
like,
True.
hey, we got some stuff
because
that we
McGonagall
know.
really
But
is
they
the
probably
only.
wouldn't want to hear them.
Exactly. Do you think that the teachers would want to listen?
They would be like, "No, shut up,
Yeah.
goodbye,
Yeah.
get out." And then
right.
they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, Ron, your
They're-
sister's dead."
Fair assumption. So, from the chapter, I shall read. It has happened, she told the silent staff room. A student has been taken by the monster right into the chamber itself. Professor Flitwick let out a squeal. Professor Sprout clapped her hands over her mouth. Snape gripped the back of a chair very hard and said, "How can you be sure?" The heir of Slytherin, said Professor McGonagall, who was very white, left another message. Right under the first one, her skeleton will lie in the chamber forever. Professor Flitwick burst into tears. "Who is it?" said Madam Hooch, who had sunk weak-kneed into a chair. "Which student?" "Ginny Weasley," said Professor McGonagall. Dun, dun, dun.
I think it's like so important. It's like Flitwick is crying.
Yeah.
Hooch is weak-kneed.
I wonder
Snape
if-
is even
Snape
very,
is reacting.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I wonder if Ginny is like one of
The favorites.
Flitwick's faves.
It's just
I
like
think Ginny would be a lot of teachers' faves. She's cool.
She's really sweet.
I bet you she's
And
like a really
smart.
good student.
Yeah.
You know?
I just love this insight, like, because they don't think any students are there. We got this little insight to just the teachers and like seeing how they're
Yeah.
actually being
Yeah.
affected by.
I like
And not
this.
seeing them in teacher role, but just
Yes.
seeing them
As
in
normal-
colleague,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
friend role.
I tell you what I really like. I like seeing Snape's emotion.
Yeah, same.
Well, and I bet you that they all really like Ginny because she's so much different than her brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, someone that's like calm and not best friends with Harry Potter getting into all this kind of ruckus.
Yeah.
Or not snot-nosed big head, or not causing trouble at every turn.
Yeah.
She's probably like a good student, sits down, does her homework,
Quiet.
quiet.
She's quiet now. She gets pretty boisterous as she comes into
But I
her
bet
own.
you she'd still
but
would
that's
be a
just
good
because
student
she's
in
very
class.
strong-willed. And
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, right now at this point in time,
Yeah, I mean, and
like,
she's also being controlled.
pretty
so-
quiet.
well, you know.
So good old Lockhart bursts in and says, "Dozed off. What have I missed?"
I can hear that.
So can I. Kenneth.
Snape, of course, sneezes the sneeze. He goes, "Achoo!" Just the man.
in a
Achoo.
different.
The very man.
He sneezed in a different chapter. He has allergies.
So who said it? Who said I can't imagine Snape sneezing?
All of
you.
us.
That was you.
Somebody was like, what, he sneezes?
Snape seizes
Oops, guys, he's real.
the opportunity. That's a really weird
Yeah, you're welcome.
thing to think about. Just the man, the very man. Your moment has come at last. Lockhart is totally thrown. He's stammering, he's sputtering. Flitwick says Lockhart had told him he knew what was inside the chamber. Snape says that he said he was sorry he hadn't had a crack at the monster before Hagrid was arrested. And McGonagall says that they'll leave it to him to tackle the monster all by himself. And they say that's got him out from under our feet as Lockhart leaves.
I love that they talk crap.
I know. I love that. Like none of them. Who else talks badly about him? Is it Sprout? In an earlier
don't know.
chapter?
She like rolls her eyes at him or something.
Yeah,
like
whenever
that.
he like pulls Harry
Hagrid does, for
aside.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, I think we get the image from everyone that no one likes him.
No one's
Yep.
buying what he's
Yeah.
trying to sell.
Only man for the job.
So McGonagall tells everybody that the heads of houses need to inform the students that they're being taken home first thing in tomorrow.
Okay.
Sad times, guys.
Spoiler alert, don't they not?
Nope, they don't.
Nope.
They don't go home.
You know, I'm trying to think. I think these teachers are a bunch of liars. They say there's going to be exams, then all of a sudden there's not. They say you're going home, and you don't. You say the
believe
school's going to be
anything.
closed, and it stays open.
I don't know what
They say you're going to live, but
You die.
What? Oh, no. Oh. Well, I thought we were doing opposites.
No, well, yeah.
All right. Well,
So Harry describes this as the worst day of his life.
Think of that in comparison to all of his other
Horrible days. Yeah. Is he already
Like, I get that-
infatuated with Ginny?
like, I get that you don't live through your parents' deaths, but geesh.
Yeah.
You not even think of that?
I don't know. Maybe this is just because it's
But like,
like
I
even
think that
meeting
it's
Voldemort?
because he thinks that Hogwarts is getting shut down and he's never going to be able to come back.
and like his best mate's sister.
Tom Riddle.
Would you say it's his best man's sister?
Oh, eventually.
I think he's just so much a part of the Weasley family.
Yeah.
That's probably why he's
It's like he's losing a family
think
member.
it was love at first sight?
For Ginny.
Yeah, not for him, no.
Oh, that's right. He likes Cho. Cho
Yep.
Chang.
Johnny Cho Chang.
So Harry, Ron, Fred, and George are just sitting in a corner of the Gryffindor common room, not saying a word. Percy wrote to Mr. and Mrs. Weasley and then just shut himself up in his dormitory.
Guilty.
Yeah, maybe
I bet
because
he
he
feels
shoot him
guilty
off,
for-
shoot her off.
I mean, you always think about your last interaction.
Right.
Yeah. I just feel bad for like Fred and George. Not and Ron too, but like you know
I feel like they're way more protective over her.
Yeah.
And like I think about a lot of times like, you know, they're the ones that you know, they're joking and they're trying to make everybody feel better, and so they probably have noticed how like her whole first year has almost sucked and all this
Yeah.
stuff has happened.
Yeah.
And they're probably thinking like, I wish I could do more and
Yeah.
make her laugh. And yeah, they're again, like I know is the youngest of the family and a girl that I have very overprotective siblings, so they would probably be the same way.
I know your brother.
He's the worst one.
Yeah.
In like the way that he's super overprotective.
He's very overprotective.
Yeah.
I don't know that life.
Only child
Well,
syndrome.
I don't have a brother, but I know that somebody was like spreading a rumor about my sister when we were both in middle school together, and I like rolled right up to those people and I started screaming at them in the hallway. So.
Gryffindor, you roared.
I know.
Yeah.
Seriously though,
Like people have said
you
stuff
don't
to me
mess
in
with my
Bridget.
people.
Yeah,
I
my
think that
sister's
like
the-
because I was an only child, that's how I got with friends.
Yeah.
instead
Oh,
of
I do the same
siblings.
thing with my friends. Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you love someone, you protect them with all you can.
Oh, they don't love me. I've learned to live with it.
You're right.
So this afternoon is described as no afternoon had ever lasted as long as that one.
Can you imagine?
No. Gryffindor Tower had never been so crowded and yet never so quiet.
Because I think part of the reason why it probably felt like it lasted so long was that you know, she's taken, okay, but they don't know what's happening with her.
Right,
They don't
yeah.
know her fate. You know,
Yeah,
they don't
they
know.
don't-
They've assumed that she has died.
Yeah, and they're probably never going to see her again.
but you still don't have closure with that.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
and you're
still
probably
don't
thinking,
know.
like, what are the teachers doing? Like, is
Where are my
Lockhart
parents? What's happening
going
with
No,
my
on?
Lockhart's not
brothers?
going to be any help.
Yeah.
live in,
Well,
you know.
and they're probably like everyone else that's in the common room is probably thinking like they don't even want to talk about it because it's not my sister, it's not my best friend, it's not this person. Like I might have been friends with her, but like that's her brother. That's
Sorry, they're playing with the bone upstairs, and that's Marty chasing Fozzie and Fozzie throwing the bone. They do it all the time. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
but like you're trying to think of, you know, that's not her, like that's not my family, like all the other students. So they're probably like saying, I don't want to be upset because they're sitting there not crying or they're not really outwardly looking super worried or anything.
Yeah.
So they don't want to seem like, you know, it's not, I don't know how to explain it, but
I get it.
I think it's pretty bad when Fred and George are quiet too. And like even like before it's really dark, they just go up to bed because they can't sit there any longer.
Yeah.
So Harry and Ron start talking about how Ginny knew something, and Ron reckons that's why she was taken, because maybe she found out something about the chamber. And he mentions she was a pureblood. Was. So does that mean he already assumes she's dead? Because then he goes on to say, do you think there's any chance she's not?
I think
you
he's
know.
assuming the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. And Harry even admits to himself he couldn't see how Ginny could still be alive.
Yeah.
Which I think is really sad.
Well, I mean, look at what happened to those other people.
Right.
Just by a look, and he knows it's just a look.
And she was actually taken into the chamber.
Correct.
Not just found, like,
Right.
wherever it might be.
But the crazy thing is that she wasn't taken, per se.
Right.
She went there herself.
walked right into
Kind
that
of.
mess.
Right.
So
I
Ron,
just feel bad. Like,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I just like think about like all the things she had to do, strangling the roosters. And stuff,
I think
and
that
just
this
covered in blood
is-
and
Yeah.
feathers. And
Kind of a good comparison to like a real life situation where maybe you get close to somebody who you shouldn't get close to.
ooh,
And you don't know until it's too late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's a really good.
So kind
then
of
you're
like a good lesson to
invested.
learn. Yeah.
yeah.
moral of the story:
Don't talk to anybody.
Don't talk
mess
to
with snakes.
strangers.
All right, sorry, Katie.
Don't
No, you're
talk to
fine.
Tom Riddle.
Anybody named Tom.
I'm gonna write in that diary though.
Avoid all Toms.
No, don't trust a magical object if you can't see where it keeps its brain.
What about the hat?
I don't know. Good question. So Ron suggests that they go and see Lockhart and tell them what they know. My question again. I had Meg bring this up. They were all ready to do this before in the staff room. So why didn't they just tell the teachers again still? So like they're sitting here all afternoon knowing information.
Why didn't they go seek out McGonagall?
Yeah, even
the
after
fact?
they find out it's my... If I found out that was my sister, I'd be like, I don't care if they think I'm crazy. I'm telling them what I know.
Yeah.
So I need to help somehow instead of just sitting here assuming she's dead.
Maybe their mind's just on
Blown.
Ginny.
Yeah.
And it's shock. I mean, you know.
But whatever. There wouldn't be a story. So they get to Lockhart's office, and there's a lot of activity going on the inside. There's like scraping and thumping, not thumbs, and hurried footsteps. So Lockhart's hesitant to let them in at first, but eventually he does, and his office is totally stripped. There's open trunks on the floor. There's robes hastily stuffed into them. There's books all untidy in corners, and his photographs are crammed in the boxes. So I wanted to read from the chapter because, you know, I love that I got this section because, oh man.
We all know how much Katie loves Gilderoy.
Oh man. So let's see.
Are you going somewhere?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm trying to find out where I wanted to start. Oh, so Harry's like, you mean you're running away after all that stuff you did in your books? And Lockhart says, books can be misleading.
Books can be misleading.
You wrote them, Harry shouted. My dear boy, said Lockhart, straightening up and frowning at Harry, do use your common sense. My books wouldn't have sold half as well if people didn't think I'd done those things. No one wants to read about some ugly old Armenian warlock, even if he did save a village from werewolves. He'd look dreadful on the front cover, no dress sense at all. And the witch who banished the abandoned banshee had a hairy chin. I mean, come on. So you've been taking credit for what a load of other people have done? Yes, he has, Harry. So Lockhart's outed. He admits that he uses memory charms on people, and he says that now, because they know, he's going to have to use a memory charm on them. But Harry acts way too quick for him, uses Expelliarmus, and gets his wand. I think it says a lot about how weak of a wizard Lockhart is to be that easily beaten by two 12-year-old boys.
Well, is he weak or is he just think he's so much better than them because he's so much older and he thinks that he's cannot be bested by 12-year-olds and they're like, watch this.
Probably, yeah. Oh, my favorite. So they march him out of his office and they go to Myrtle's bathroom.
I love how much control they have over this professor.
Oh, he sucks.
Yeah.
I just have a question. What do you think happened to the wizards that he used a memory charm on?
I think they're probably living normal lives.
So do you think
you
it's not
think-
as powerful as his that backfired on him?
Yeah, I would think that he
I
probably...
think he just did a regular one. He probably just wiped memory of the event.
Can you
Right.
do that though?
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, because if you think to Deathly Hallows, Hermione wipes
cafe.
the Snatchers' minds and then also does it to her parents and has full control over what she does to her parents in terms of extracting and inserting memories.
I'm sure that there's various levels.
Like levels.
But
and
I would
stuff?
assume that it has to do with your magical ability, how much you're able to do. Because if, you know, someone random just decided to say obliviate to somebody, like it could have drastic consequences if you don't know what you're doing, I would assume.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
What?
Kidding.
Oh, you're an idiot. Oh my god.
I was like,
I
what?
was like, wait a minute. We're talking about memory charms. Don't. Sarah. You're such a turd.
And my other question
you're
is,
so funny.
But no, think about later on in this chapter. I mean, we're going to see it. That wand was so out of control, which is
Yeah.
probably why it was so
powerful,
overwhelmingly and like in the result.
My question is, so the villages or places that these happen, do they not read, do they not get access to these books and see, like, that's not the guy that helped us? Does he obliviate everybody?
I think so.
That's a lot of obliviating.
I mean,
know.
if we
That's
remember
why he
back
says it's
to
a lot of work.
if we remember back to Lockhart's
Like real work
profile
he
that
does.
we did, he's a very smart guy, but he's very lazy and he just wants what he wants in the quickest way. So he put all of his effort into doing these memory charms so he could just take credit for things.
Yeah.
So he's willing to put in the work that way.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sleazy.
He is pretty sleazy.
Oh, I forgot how much I like that word. Sleazy.
Okay. Okay. Now we're going to go meet some cool peeps.
Yeah, let's go, guys.
So Harry and Ron make Lockhart go into the bathroom first. Harry is pleased that Lockhart is shaking as they walk in there.
Think about
What
how,
a wimp.
but I think about like Harry. Like he's pleased to see that this guy is like terrified. Like, okay, Harry.
Well, think about how mad he has to be. First of all, it's his best friend's sister whose life
His
is on
future
the balance. Yeah. Or like just even he would probably be this way with any student, but he has more
Love of
ties.
his life.
Yeah, but he has more ties to this one.
That line just really struck me.
Yeah.
It really
His
did.
future wife.
No, that's not in the story.
The mother of his children.
No, that he was really pleased to see that he was shaking. I was like, oh crap, that's dark, Harry.
The woman that
Well.
allowed him to name a child Albus Severus.
Never heard of him. Is that what you say?
I think she was probably all doped up on pain potions after pushing that kid out. She would have been like, sure.
I love
Can I get some of those?
All right. So Myrtle is sitting on the tank of her toilet. She is. And Harry asks her.
Chilling out.
Yeah, I can't. That's a sad thing.
So he asks her how she died, and she looks like she's never been asked that question before. Her whole demeanor changes, and she seems happy to talk about her death. So it happened right in the cubicle that she is currently in, and she was hiding there because a girl named Olive Hornby had been teasing her about her classes. And it says, I don't know if I'm on the right page. The door was locked and I was crying, and then I heard someone come in. They said something funny, a different language. I think it must have been. Anyways, what really got me was that it was a boy speaking. So I unlocked the door to tell him to go and use his own toilet. And then Myrtle swallowed, importantly, her face shining. I died. Harry says, how? No idea. I just remember seeing a pair of great big yellow eyes. My whole body sort of seized up. Then I was floating away. And when she came back, I was determined. She was determined to haunt Olive Hornby. She was ever so sorry. She laughed at her glasses.
That's mean.
Were they horn rimmed?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
What does that mean?
It means they're like pointy.
Oh, I like those. My mom had those whenever she was in school because she's so retro.
So, fun fact, according to the Harry Potter lexicon, Myrtle also haunted Olive Hornby's brother's wedding.
Oh.
And then
She did not mess around.
I tried to find like the source for that. It said somewhere in the Goblet of Fire, but
She come popping through the toilet.
Goblet of fire, really?
Maybe it was during the bathroom scene.
that's what they were kind of talking about, but it didn't actually say anything.
yeah.
So Myrtle points to where she saw the eyes, and it's towards the sink right in front of her cubicle. She tells him that the tap has never worked, but it looks like an ordinary sink. And so they kind of look closer at it, and Harry finds a tiny snake etched onto the copper taps. Ron urges Harry to say something parcel tongue. Harry's not really sure what to say, because every time he's spoken parcel tongue, he is in the company of a live snake.
He's unaware that he's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he tries to do it, and Ron's like, nope, English. And so he looks at the etched snake in a different way, right kind of where the candlelight is making it look like it's almost moving, and says, open. And thankfully, it isn't English this time. So the tap glowed a bright white light and began to spin, and the sink sank.
Did it begin to spinach?
Like a salad spinner. I thought of Dr. Seuss when I said the sink sank.
Sink, sank, sunk.
And in the place was a pipe big enough for a man to slide into. And I thought to myself, why not a woman?
Oh my God.
Well, we are in the girls' bathroom.
Hey, but pause. Can you see Slytherin doing this?
Right?
Hopping in.
Yes.
He's probably going, wee, going into my chamber.
Or he's got like
Fun slide ride.
a Mary Poppins umbrella floating down.
Do you think he named the basilisk? Was it like Bobby Basilisk?
No, it was probably, I don't know, furball.
No, it was a fur ball. Scales.
Scaly.
Oh, weird. Who's getting a Coke? Say it.
Give me Coke.
No.
Give me the Coke.
Give me the Coke.
I mean, I said that first,
I know,
y'all.
that's why I did
So-
it again.
but I
that was an
couldn't.
homage to
Okay,
you.
We're all talking like Florence. I
Florence.
said, never heard of him.
Never heard of
We
him.
love Sarah.
Okay, don't do that.
Love you,
So,
Harris.
I'm leaving. This is it. Harry and Ron know.
Down there?
Yes, Harry and Ron knew that they were both going to go down into the pipes because, you know, one, it's his love, and two, it's his sister. Hopefully you know which one is which.
Oh, gosh.
And Lockhart, being the great guy he is, tries to leave, saying they don't really need him, but they make him go first. He is white-faced and wandless. And with some protest, he kind of gets in the slide like he's going to slide down it. And still protesting, he is given a loving push from
Yes.
Ron. And down the hatch he goes.
It's like they don't even, like, the situation is so important and, like,
The situation.
dire that they're like, this is a teacher, but we don't care how
Yeah.
we're treating this person.
You know what
Yeah.
this makes me think
Go.
of? This makes me think of A Christmas Story when he gets pushed down the slide after meeting Santa.
what does he say?
Ho, ho, yeah.
He puts his foot on his forehead.
That would probably be Ron. Here's my foot in your back. And so Harry follows, and then Ron is the caboose in the train. The pipe takes them down probably miles under the school, most likely under the lake. The walls are slimy. The tunnels are so dark, Harry uses Lumos to light their way, and he reminds them to close their eyes at any sign of movement. So Ron steps...
Brought a mirror.
Yeah.
That would have been smart, but
Yeah.
Hermione wasn't with them to tell them
I
these
just thought of
things.
it.
So he steps on something, he being Ron, steps on something with a crunch, and so they see that there are small animal bones that litter the ground. Up ahead, they find the skin
That
of the
makes me
basilisk.
sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. I wonder how
Basilisk
they
gotta
got there.
eat.
Yeah.
You really think the basilisk is eating little mice and stuff?
Well, they have to
That's what I
eat
would
whatever they've
assume.
got. They probably eat like a ton of
yeah,
them.
probably just a lot
Yeah.
at once.
But
Do you
has
think
it been
that
like
the rodent
hibernating?
issue in the castle goes up next year?
As a matter of fact, I would. Because
Just got it.
Metaphor? Guys, we just cracked the code here.
Good.
It's so good.
That was so good.
Tiffany's face.
then Megan gets it, and then I look at you, and you still don't get it, and then look at your face, you're like, it was great.
I was like, what mice are?
Not a mouse.
Rat.
Oh gosh.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's funny.
Just well done.
Let us continue.
I wonder how long that pause was. Where we like don't say anything.
Oh.
We need to remain on topic.
Please play the end of this episode before you start. Start at the outtakes because you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know, guys.
All right, so up ahead, they find the skin of the basilisk, and it's massive. It's a vivid, poisonous green, and it must be at least 20 feet long.
That's interesting to me that it's still green.
Yes, I thought the same thing because in
Ew.
my mind, when doesn't it
It's like
change?
clear.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
know?
like translucent.
Yeah.
And I tried to find things on the internet that would tell me, like, in comparison, like, how big 20 feet is.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's like
That's a good idea to do that.
That's
like
like 4
3
of me.
Kevin Durant's.
It's 4 of me.
That guy is so lanky.
He is amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, it's 4 Tiffany's, about 4 Katie's.
That's cray, man.
So
Or
this
it's
is,
2 Tiffany's and 2 Katie's.
There you go.
or 3 Tiffany's and 1 Katie, or 3 Katie's and 1 Tiffany.
We have many combinations.
So this says it's about as tall as a giraffe. An adult giraffe may grow up to be 20 feet tall.
Wow. That's big.
This one says it's about
sounded like really uninteresting. Wow.
I didn't mean to.
it's about 3/4 as long as a London bus, which is interesting. 1.5 times as long as a Beetle Volkswagen. half as tall as a telephone pole.
How many Fort Anglias?
It does not tell us.
Darn.
Probably like
It says
2
it's
and a
about
half.
as half as tall as a Brachiosaurus.
Hey.
And
It probably is part dinosaur.
Brachium immundo.
it's about
weird.
2/5 as tall as the Hollywood sign.
Oh, I like
So
that.
that's just cool little things that are as tall. Because I was thinking when I was reading this, I'm like, in comparison to, like, I like to know, like, how big, like, boats are compared to buildings and stuff like that. Like, I find that really cool. Like, when people show how big the Titanic was versus, like, cruise ships nowadays.
okay.
Like, stuff like that. I think that's, like, fascinating. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, the Titanic of its day was, like, the brand new cruise ship.
And now it's like tiny.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy to think about these things. And they're still massive.
I just picture you like going on the internet like, how big is this boat compared to this building?
like things that I don't think that are huge, like lights, like the
Stoplights.
Oh, dude,
Stoplights
they're
are huge. Yeah.
they're massive.
They are.
They're like as tall as Tiffany.
It's like weird to think about. Some of that stuff like really freaks me out.
No,
I bet
it's
you
totally
your
terrifying.
baby belly is the size of the green light.
Oh,
It's big. Because the baby is growing.
Green.
green.
Maybe your baby is green.
Like an adult
Maybe.
an adult beluga whale is about 14 feet long, so it's
Oh,
longer
sheesh.
than a beluga whale.
What about a narwhal?
17 feet? It's funny that you say because it's right under there.
Funny you should ask off the top of my head.
Does that include horn length or is that just body?
I bet
know,
it
just
includes
body.
standard horn length.
A killer whale, a male, is 20 to 26 feet long. Humpback whales are 49
So
to
the
52.
basilisk is as big as Shamu.
Could be, yeah.
Wait. Do you think they use narwhal horns in potions?
Probably.
Probably.
They use unicorn horns and bicorn horns.
So why not narwhals?
I'm saying they
I
probably
know.
do.
I like it.
All right, so Lockhart kind of does a little knees weak, fainty thing, and when he gets up, Ron grabs Ron's wand from him,
rough.
smiles, and says, me. He says, "The adventure ends here, boys. I shall take a bit of this skin back up to the school, tell them I was too late to save the girl, and that you two tragically lost your minds at the sight of her mangled body. Say goodbye to your memories."
I think here he really does intend to like mess up their memories.
Oh, for sure.
Not just wipe this little like whole shenanigan thing that's going on, but totally ruin them.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, because he says, doesn't he?
He's probably jealous
Yeah.
of Harry, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Fame is
A
fickle
few
friend.
people have heard of him, right?
Right.
So he raised Ron's spello-taped wand high over his head and yelled, "Obliviator!" The wand exploded
digging for spell?
with
No.
the force of a small bomb. Think of that.
Yeah.
A small
Right.
bomb.
Well, this wand has had it.
Boom!
This wand's like, y'all, I've had enough. I'm done.
I'm done.
So after that, which is crazy to think, small bomb, chunks of the tunnel ceiling were thundering on the floor. Next thing you know, they're on separate sides.
Oh
So after his blunder, the walls literally come down. Ron and Lockhart are on one side, and Harry is on the other side, closer to the chamber,
How convenient.
with the skin.
no. Yeah.
Ugh.
Gross.
So Ron and Lockhart are basically fine. His Lockhart's spell rebounded on him, and Ron is trying. He talks to Harry, and Harry doesn't think it would be a great idea to blast the rocks away at the moment because he's like, well, shoot, if they already fell down, if I'm blasting rocks, who knows what could come down. Mm-hmm. So he tells Ron to stay with Lockhart, and if he isn't back in an hour, and he doesn't finish his sentence, he's too afraid. Like, what if I don't come back in an hour?
Right.
So Ron replies saying he's going to try to dislodge some of the rocks so they can get back through. And basically, like, neither one can say the words, like, just go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Harry continues through the tunnels, and finally, after another turn, he reaches a solid wall with 2 entwined serpents carved on it. Their eyes were glittering, except that's not what it says. It says glinting emeralds. Harry didn't need to pretend that these snakes were real. To him, they seemed alive. He whispers in parcel tongue, Hesh, Hassa. Open sesame. Knock, knock, please open. Will you please let me in? Who's there? Mr. Slytherin. I'd like to slither into your chambers.
Hesh Hassa, please.
The serpents parted as the wall.
That's the name of the episode. How do you spell that? How do you spell that?
Hesh. Hesh. Hosh. Hash.
I lost it. Now it just says hush, 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 hush.
Right, please. Comma, please.
It looks ridiculous.
The serpents parted as the walls cracked open, and Harry walks inside, shaking from head to toe.
Tootsies. 'Tis the end of the chapter.
Crazy.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride.
Guys, we're now inside the chamber. What's going to happen?
I don't know.
Ginny
What?
is not going to die.
What secrets will be revealed?
Jenny Weasley from the Basilisk.
Lightning bolt round. I have 0 questions prepped.
I have some. What do you think happens to Colin Creevey being unconscious this whole year? People have talked about this on our group, but legitimately, he gets to his second year.
I think he does remedial classes in the summer, and
That's the only thing that can explain it. I think if it wasn't a
Remedial
thing,
potions
it
is a
should
thing.
be a thing now.
That's true.
You know?
That sucks, though. Like, it's not my fault that I got petrified.
But you know what? Think about it. When he wakes up, he's so excited about being magical. He probably wants to do it.
I bet he learned more in that small summer class than all the other students learned that whole year.
Amen to that. Jeez.
Probably true. Do you think that he missed his birthday? Do you think
Probably.
Do you think people wished him a happy birthday?
No.
That'd be so sad.
It's so sad.
I'd throw
He
a
missed
party.
his what? 12th birthday? Sorry.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm going to hurt you.
Are you guys ready? This is not
Physically.
really like a question, but I just want you to close your eyes and imagine.
Give it to me.
Okay. So just imagine.
Give it to
I was
me,
gonna say,
baby.
Katie, your eyes aren't closed, but now they are. You're in the hospital wing.
Yes.
You're friends with Hermione.
Okay. Herm.
She.
Am I petrified or am I visiting?
Will you just let her do
you're
it?
Visiting.
Okay.
You're up, you're talking, you're waiting. The potion is brewed. She's getting the potion. She's waking up. And you're with her when she finds out that she has 3 days before exam. Can you just imagine how much of a crazy person she would be finding that out?
I would come prepared with my notes and books from all the things she's missed.
Yeah.
Why are my hands like this? I don't know what to do with my hands.
But do you think you'd actually have notes with you?
I said I'd come prepped.
What if you were just hanging out and you didn't know?
Well,
I would be like, hold on. Don't
do
give it
it.
to her.
she will.
I have to go get my notes.
She will scratch your eyes out. Oh no, she would flip.
Yeah. Yeah, just imagine.
And then
full blown
McGonagall would be
Hermione.
like, don't worry, Hermione, you don't have to take them. And she'd be like, yes, I do.
Yeah, she'd want.
You know what though? Sorry, spoiler. Later, at the end of this book, she still complains that there's no exams.
Yeah.
I know.
They say that they've been canceled. She's like, oh no. You don't know even what you learned the whole year. How you guys take
She
exams?
really wasn't petrified that long.
That's true.
When
compared
was she
to-
petrified? Do we know what? Do we?
I
remember?
feel like maybe
it was
just a
towards the
couple
end.
weeks.
month maybe.
A month at the most.
Yeah.
And again, like we were saying, I don't know how much they were learning, anyways.
Well, I'm sure he'd try to teach and try to learn. But
Yeah, absolutely, but things are happening. So, did you think about the fact that the basilisk is the king of the serpents
And
Weasley
is
the
our
king of the arachnids are terrified of it? So the king of the serpents versus Aragog, king of the arachnids.
And
Can we celebrity deathmatch them?
Yes.
hold on. And Ron is scared of the king of the arachnids, and he is the king.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Of the weasels.
Whoa!
Mind blown.
Kings unite.
Guys,
And fight.
for the right.
Who would win?
To party.
Aragog or Scaly?
Scaly.
Well, I'm going to say Scaly because Aragog's terrified of him.
Well,
Already.
if we took that
Oh,
away,
wait!
and
Aragog's blind. He couldn't get killed by the sight.
Whoa, does that
biting.
It'd be
count?
like a full-on fight. It'd be like
If you're-
pincers versus teeth.
if
both they're
you're
poisonous.
Hey!
if you're blind, can you not die from the stare?
Did
Seriously.
he not blind himself?
Who? Oh my god.
Maybe because he was so scared.
Because he was
'Cause
in
he
the
was
castle
forced
with
to
it.
be in
He
the
knew it was
castle.
there. What if he was like, I'm not doing this?
And he repeatedly asked Hagrid to not let him be in the castle.
That's true.
Oh my god. Tiffany.
Whoa!
Tiffany had an epiphany.
I like rhymes.
I'm just saying, like, if you're that terrified of something,
yeah.
like if you, sawing your leg off in the movie Saw to get out. I don't know. I don't know.
No, that's a different situation. If they had to get out,
You know.
just saying.
We're drawing straws.
Oedipus Rex claws his own eyes out in the play.
Ugh.
I'm just saying, it's an interesting thought.
Oh, because I think his name was just Oedipus. Well, Rex, I think, is king.
Another king?
T Rizzle.
Um,
Questions?
do you think that talking to petrified people is the same as like talking to people in a coma?
100%.
Do you think they
Yeah.
can hear you and
I don't
understand
think
you?
I don't think they can hear you.
You don't think people can hear you when you're in a coma?
I don't know. Well, I guess it would depend, but I think petrified, I'd say no.
I think yes, but remembering, those people remembering it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Megan, do you have any thoughts?
I think that they would not remember, but I think that in that moment they probably could hear you.
Yeah.
I think they're just like stony and Medusa-y.
Are you making a 420 joke?
No, I wasn't. I was not.
The devil's lettuce.
No gillyweed was used in the making
us
of this
continue.
episode.
Oh, gosh.
Do you think that if you touch the basilisk that you would be poisoned?
No.
Well, because they kept saying poisonous green when talking about the skin. And the
I
color
think
of
they're
it.
just talking like
The
Color.
vividness.
think about
I'm
the
just
Disney
curious.
villain color. That to me is like a poisonous green.
Maleficent green.
Yeah.
well, why didn't she just say that?
Yeah, she should have just said Maleficent green.
Trademarks, guys.
Everybody would have known.
True.
Disney would have given it to her. They're nice.
think-
Evil Queen Green.
Yeah, really. It's a new Crayola crayon.
Do you think, because we kind of touched on this, I was going to wait for the next episode, but I'm just going to ask it now because we were talking a little bit about it during the podcast. Do you think that if Harry tried to talk to the snake, little, what do we call him, Scaly,
Yeah.
in Parseltongue, you would have listened to him? Or do you think, like, Tom is so...
Tom-
I think he
Listen to
already
him, right?
had his allegiance to Tom at that point.
So, but
Plus-
do you think you can only have one allegiance? Like, they only...
I would think.
You don't think it can change at all?
I think he'd have a special allegiance to Tom because he actually is the heir.
Yeah.
Of Slytherin.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
a
like
good
that
point.
kind of trumps
Yeah.
any other connection immediately.
Yeah.
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 Would y'all have gotten into the chamber or would you have gotten a teacher? Like a real teacher?
I would have gotten a teacher.
I would have gotten a teacher, honestly. Like I said, I would have just I would
Can you
have spelled
imagine
all I
Snape
knew.
going down there and just being like, pew, pew, pew.
I feel...
Did he
We're in
sneeze
Star
at the
Wars.
basilisk?
I was thinking the same thing. Like, it sounds like Star Wars over there. I feel like I would just go.
Hello and welcome to Rebel Watch.
I'm Az.
And I'm Mike. Do you like this psychopathy?
Hey there, Star Wars fans.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
Keep that in.
Go check out Rebel Watch. They're not as cool as us, but you know what? They try.
They try.
They really
I
do
should say
try
we
hard.
try since I am.
I almost choked.
Oh, Lord. All right. Do we have any more questions for the lightning round?
One more question. What's your favorite type of lettuce?
I like butter.
None.
I like bib.
I don't eat lettuce.
It's small.
It's disgusting.
It's good on burgers.
It is disgusting
Iceberg's
and vile.
I know
Iceberg's
iceberg is
useless.
useless, but I like just a little bit of it in my salad for a good crunch. I prefer spinach
Guys,
and romaine.
it's disgusting.
Is spinach
It's
considered a lettuce?
I don't know, but I like
Disgusting.
spinach in my salad. Is what I'm
It's
saying.
gross. Nasty. Makes me want to vomit.
But it's the color of your house.
Is it like
how you
Comet?
feel.
Makes you want to vomit? To buy some Comet and vomit today?
Anything with the texture of lettuce belongs in the garbage.
What if my fingers were like?
What if she had lettuce fingers?
What if I had
Salad fingers.
a feeling of rest against my salad?
All right. Any other questions?
actual questions?
No? Bueller? Okay.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have any more.
Well, if it pop in your head, you can save them.
I thought I wrote this
Story.
Fan stories.
Here
this
we
one's
go.
a little different. It's not. Excuse me, I'm talking.
That was just our intro for Caden.
Oh, thank you. It's not a Potter story.
I was going to be like, her name's Katie. Not Kaden.
I mean, it has to do with Potter, but it's not like how they got into Potter. It's just
Oh,
a
okay.
funny story
Gotcha.
that I thought was
I
hilarious.
dig it.
We like
So-
these kinds of things.
Yeah.
'Tis true.
So Caden Hansen says, "Hey ladies, just wanted to share a funny story with you. So I'm at church on Sunday and I have my 18-month-old son with me. We're sitting at the back of a large chapel with a group of men when my son wants to play with my phone. I let him and have it in the hopes that we can make it through the last 20 minutes, only to be mortified when I hear, 'Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all Potter podcast.' Reverberate around the chapel. I scramble to pause and get out of the app while my son wrestles with me from the church pew. I finally get it turned off and look up only to find everyone staring at me. Well, the secret is out, I guess, that I love your podcast and everyone knows it. Thank you for everything, ladies. You are the best Potter podcast. I want to say you're the best for the free advertisement in your chapel.
Did anybody say amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. No, that's hilarious though. And I read that and I was like, I gotta put that in today.
Guys, we love stories like this.
It's
I
so
love
funny.
a good, funny story.
Yes.
So please keep sharing them with
Can
us.
I
you
love that
imagine?
she had to wrestle with her son in the pew.
Can you imagine, like, if her phone is probably
No.
all the way up. It's gonna echo.
Oh God, how red did your face turn? I'd have been I probably would have cried because I just don't
Would've
like it
just
when
left.
people look at me and I'm like,
I probably would have left. I would have been like,
okay, bye, sermon's over.
I gotta go finish this episode.
Oh Lord, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny. So I'm sorry that happened to you, but also super funny, and we enjoyed it. So thank
Yes,
you.
friends, send us stories like that because I just, like Sarah said, I love a good funny story.
guys,
What?
who was our sponsor for this episode?
Nadra.
Adra.
Congratulations to Nadra, who just got engaged today
What?
at Disneyland.
What?
She just got engaged.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
Congratulations.
Is there a ring pic?
So exciting.
And I'm just saying, we were chit-chatting, and she had a feeling this was going to happen today at Disneyland, and she was right.
Is there a ring pic?
Yeah, there is.
Oh,
It's beautiful.
dude.
Oh, he did such a good job because she was getting like pictures taken, right?
Are they?
Yeah.
They're like dapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. Good for him for making sure like
Yes.
it's picture perfect. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh! I'm so
Congratulations.
happy.
That's
That's amazing. Good for
good picture,
you guys.
Too. You're cute.
Yeah,
I just
guys look cute
screenshot
together.
that.
Swisher
Snapchat.
memories.
It's creepy. She's gonna be like, "Why are you screenshotting?"
So congratulations.
I'm sorry.
screenshot.
Keep it forever.
I'm sorry that your engagement announcement is on an episode called Hush, 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 Please.
Oh, that's awesome.
Major, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
Seriously.
one day I'll get engaged and be able to share it on the podcast. Likely never
You'll get
happening.
engaged on the podcast. How about that?
You want to get engaged to this
chance.
poor?
Fat chance of me ever getting married, guys.
No, it'll happen in due time. Dear.
Whatever.
Anyways, What are you guys doing? What are you up to?
Megan and Katie.
We're about to do some shameless plugs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
plugs?
we have our other podcast, Grown Up Kids.
I like to podcast.
Grown Up Kids
every day.
And I have to say, our episode this weekend is for Victory Through Air Power,
Who?
which is
I think I've seen
the
it.
most boring Disney movie
However-
I have ever watched.
However.
But
Is it animated?
yes,
Half and half.
mostly like
a mix.
90% animated.
What year?
1943. It was made for the war.
Do you know what else happened in 1943?
interesting.
Okay, well, go listen to our
Wait.
podcast. But
Can I? it has to do with
Ravenclaw.
Harry
Hold
Potter.
hold on, really
The
quick,
Chamber
I
of
just
Secrets
wanna-
opened in 1943.
But as boring as the movie was, our episode coming out today when you're listening to this is pretty bomb.
Super good.
It was a really good episode. So if you have any interest in all things Disney, we are watching most of the movies in chronological order. This week,
Name your podcast.
I did Grown Up Kids,
Okay.
a Disney podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, all that good stuff, Instagram. Go check it out.
You know, that's usually my plug, but I'll do your usual plug.
I wanted to change it up.
Me and Meg also have a vlog that we do called Main Street 9 3/4. So it's got like Disney info, it's got Universal info. We're doing a bunch of cool stuff that we've always wanted to do just in our home state. Yeah, it's a good
This
time.
weekend, we're going to Party for the Planet at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. Check it out on Sunday on YouTube.
Oh, Earth
or
Day.
Monday.
Earth Day.
Might
That's
be
Fozzie
Monday.
Bear's birthday. This comes out on Bear's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Guys, he's going to be 5.
He's my favorite
Aw.
dog.
He's going to kindergarten. Oh my God, I love that dog.
Can you please get him a little cap, like a little graduation cap to wear? Because that'd be really cute.
He wore one for his dog training.
Well, see, there you go.
Okay, me? I do things.
Do you?
Hey there, Star Wars fans.
Yeah, we already did your plug.
So I'm on an all Star Wars podcast called Rebel Watch. Ezra Kirk, E. Kirk 2006, E Dog. We are doing a journey through Star Wars, and I'm going movie by movie with him, and we're breaking it down, getting deep and sweaty. So if you are old to the fandom of Star Wars or new to the fandom, it's probably going to be a great listen. So you should tune into that. I also do an all video games podcast called Box Trick with my friend Matt Brady. And right now we're doing a Pokemon playthrough of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. And we're going pretty much gym by gym, unless there's like some big tasks in the middle. Like we just got to Lavender Town. So we stopped there, yes. Right before Silph
Lavender.
Scope. Hey. And why not?
She's just all the colors. Why didn't she name her like purple yellow? That wasn't funny at all.
I think it was funny. Anyways, we do stuff like Zelda. We do Nintendo news. I'm on the Nintendo portion of it. They also do the other systems like PlayStation and Xbox. And that is my extent of, I'm going to hurt you, projects.
My now newest project is I'm trying to build a replica of myself so I can do work so I don't have to go.
Should have kept Sally.
Should have kept Sally, but you can't walk and talk.
Guys, what an invention that would be. I would buy that so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clones would be great.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I apparently
But
have a
there might
clone
be
in
a war.
California.
You could attack.
Did you guys see
Katie
that?
might have a clone in California. Did
Oh,
you hear
yeah.
that?
I
It's called
did
a
see that.
doppelganger.
I know, but she's
No,
not
it's a
just,
clone.
she doesn't just look like me. She's also Hufflepuff. She loves cats and something else. There was something else.
I had a friend tell me, he goes, "Are you in Hawaii right now?" Because I swear, he goes, "This woman looks like you and talks like you." I'm like, "Well, I hope she's not ugly."
Is that Florence? She live in Hawaii?
I'll be really jealous if it was. And he's like, "No, she's not ugly, and neither are you." But like, it's crazy that I saw this woman on the beach, and he sent me a picture of her. I didn't really see it, but it was also from far away.
All right, then.
But anyway, I should hire that girl to come work for me. She's
There
my
you go.
clone.
I've not met mine yet, so
Oh, her name was also Katie. That was the other.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
They say that there's like 6 people in the world that's supposed to look just like you.
Weird.
There was a
6.
project on YouTube, I think. I think it was YouTube where they went around the world and found people that looked similar. And there were like people that looked identical and they're not related
I
at
don't
all.
like that.
Crazy.
That's scary to me.
It's freaky.
Well, I guess there's only so many variation of the way that genes grow, right? I don't know.
When you reach 1 billion people.
So that's the end of the episode.
Thanks for hanging in with us.
This was a longin'.
I'd apologize, but I'm not going to.
No.
Because if you're listening to the end of this, you're doing that yourself. You can hit stop.
All the mysteries are going to be revealed after of what all the fun was about.
That's true.
Spoiler alert. Ginny doesn't die.
What?
And Harry saves the day again. Gets the
Are we
Horcrux.
surprised?
And again. And again.
And again.
He is the chosen one after all.
That's true. All right, guys. So that concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening. And don't let the muggles get you down.
Amazing! Just my voice!
I heard that lettuce is causing E. coli, so I wouldn't have smoked any of the devil's lettuce
Let
today.
us not eat it.
Get out!
Let us pray for those souls.
How many lettuce jokes can you do?
Let us see.
Thank God you're recording!
Let us begin.
Oh, God. Tiffany, your face.
We need to remain calm.
Guys, we're losing listeners here. I think they think our jokes are done.
What are lettuces? I can't think of anything.
Arugula.
Done making jokes now?
I don't know, we might have hit an iceberg. So we gotta
Sarah.
There's a lovely shade of red.
I am crying. I'm laughing so hard.
Oh, my God. This is spinach out of control.
I can't. The baby's gonna come out.
Oh. I'm about to Google some other lettuces because I just want to keep going.
Butter lettuce.
Bib.
Bib.
Oh, God,
Boston.
jokes for those.
Could we go in the realm of cabbages?
Sure.
What kind of cabbages are there? Besides cabbage.
Cabbage.